All right. Hello again, everybody. John Ross coming at you live and in color, as always, from good old Antioch, Tennessee, just outside Nashville. You might as well just say Nashville for all intents and purposes. And this is day number 23 of my 30-day Facebook Live challenge. And it is Tuesday. So it's Techie Tuesday. It's Tuesday, December 6th, Techie Tuesday. And this edition of Techie Tuesday, you guys are going to get a little bit of an inside look at my home studio slash office slash man cave, where, anyway, some of the music magic happens. There's a couple spaces in my house. Downstairs is what you guys normally see. I'm upstairs in the studio slash man cave slash office slash storage room slash everybody has one of those type of rooms in their house type room. And I'm going to give you an inside look to where some more magic happens. And just kind of show you how I put tracks together. And so for Techie Tuesday, we're going to take a little bit of look at some of my studio gear and the software that I use when I record tracks and that sort of thing. So yeah, if you guys have any questions for me about anything related to this broadcast or any other broadcast, just let me know. Pop them in the comments below, and I'll be happy to answer those for you. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to turn the phone around for a little bit of this so you kind of see what the process is like, and show you a little bit around the place. So here we go. Let's see. I tried to make it look nice for the broadcast. Let me turn the phone around here. Okay, good. So back up here. You guys are looking at my partial studio setup here. I know the lighting isn't great, but I've got a keyboard. It's that same Roland keyboard that I was using last week that I showcased for you guys. Got my studio speakers here. The stapler, which is what I was using to prop up the phone. This guy here, this device with the 3 green lights, is called an audio interface. And then, of course, my computer. And then this is called a reflection filter. This is where I record vocals. It's on a mic stand. Got some headphones over here. Got an extra monitor over here when I do large projects for mixing and that sort of thing. And that's pretty much it. It's actually pretty simple of a setup. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to show you guys the software I use. This is called Logic Pro. And so I'm launching it right now. You can kind of see it bouncing there. Launching my Logic Pro. And my dinosaur of a computer, it's from 2009, and it's actually a dinosaur of a computer. Takes a long time for this particular program to load because it uses a lot of RAM. But it'll fire up here in just a few, hopefully. It was working when I tested it, so, hopefully it'll still work. There we go. So we've got our little load up screen, and it's launching all of the stuff that it likes to launch when it does that. And so here we go. So, okay, so it's going to load. Okay, so what you're looking at here, this is a screen that shows different tracks of a music production. And I'm going to close this out and open up a new one just so you can kind of see how this works. So I'm going to I'm going to make a new track. And I'm going to start an empty project. And so now it's going to ask me if I want to use software instrument or if I want to record audio. If I was going to record singing or playing guitar, I would pick audio. But I'm just going to play with the software instruments for right now. I'm just going to create one track. So I'm going to choose that. And here we are. So, and then I got to make sure my keyboard's turned on, which it is now. And so, I don't have any sound. I'm hitting the key. I don't have any sound. Why don't I have any sound? Well, because the sounds all come out of the software. So what I have to do is I have to go over here. And I have to choose an instrument. So, I'm going to choose a piano sound. And let's just go with our standard Steinway grand piano. So, the cool part about this software, and there's lots of programs out there that do this, it has samples of all these instruments, all these famous sounding instruments. So now when I play, I think hopefully you guys can hear that. Can you guys hear that okay? hopefully you guys can hear that. You can see the green lights there. And I've got this little bar here with this track loaded up, as you can see. This means that I have a track loaded, and so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to record something. And it's very, very simple. It works just like a tape recorder. For those of you that are old enough to remember tape recorders, over here you've got all these controls. The red button is record, and then you've got your pause and your play and your stop, fast forward, rewind. Then this button over here, let's see if I can find my mouse. There we go. So this button over here skips you back to the beginning, and then this button here repeats you from wherever you originally had started the last time. This thing over here, this vertical marker, kind of allows you to quick fast forward to a certain part of the song. So I'm going to record something and then play something, and then you'll kind of see how this works. I can tell already there's a little bit of a glare in the screen. Probably looks like orange dots to you. That actually comes from these lights. I'll show you. If you look really close, you can see that there's a certain sports team's logo on these lights without mentioning what that team is. There we go. This is partially might as well show you around the rest of the room. Of course, there's a certain letter of the alphabet that we all like. And of course, I have that displayed by a certain other baseball team that will remain nameless. And I have also this little souvenir. This is not an actual one from the ballpark. It's just like a replica souvenir of that. But anyway, so yeah. And then, of course, over here, I've got a few more items of some teams that will remain nameless for the time being. And yeah, there's a couple more items for a certain team that will remain nameless, but we all know and love who they are, and a couple of said sports teams that will remain nameless and all that. Okay, good. So you got the behind the scenes of the studio, and there you go. That's the reason for the orange dots. So I'm going to play something into this track and just make something up as I go along, and then we'll kind of go from there. So let's see here. All right, good. So I'm going to start over because I need to wait 4 clicks and have it come in. All right, good. So I recorded that little lick, and all I got to do is go back and look. Pretty cool. And if you buy a Mac these days, it comes with a program called GarageBand, which is very similar to this program, which is called Logic Pro. Logic Pro is basically the professional version of GarageBand. And this is one of 2 industry standard programs that are used to record most music, the other one being Pro Tools. I just know this one because I'm familiar with the interface and all that. So I've got a little piano thing going, and I can loop this and have it play over and over again. Alright, so my timing's a little bit off, so I can go in and fix that, but I'll do that a little bit later. What I'm going to do now is add a drum track. We should have some drums, right? So this program's got some great drum sounds, so we're going to load up a drum kit here. And let's just pick one of these. Let's see, which one should we pick? Let's try this Brooklyn kit. Let's see what this sounds like. Okay, good. So it shows you a little icon showing that you have a drum. Let's see. All right, good. So we got drums. So I'm going to record something like this. And there you go. So play it back. And there you go. And so all of the pretty much that's how it works. I can choose a bass line, I can choose a synth part, I can choose whatever I want to put in there, and there you go. So yeah, pretty neat, huh? And it's actually very easy, very user-friendly to record things at a very basic level. Now, There are lots of people who know this software program a lot more in depth than I do. I don't claim to be a producer, but I know enough. I took a couple of classes and I know enough to get to produce a basic demo production and that sort of thing. But it's actually pretty simple. You know, if I wanted a bass line, I would just do the same thing. I would go up here and to this plus sign, I would add a new track. And I would go over here to bass. And we'll just go with like a fingerstyle bass, like a standard bass. There we go. So we got a little bass guitar going on. All right, good. So we'll record a bass line. Yep, let me play this back for you one more time. A lot of modern production nowadays, even on the stuff that you guys listen to on the radio, a lot of it is actually programmed like this, in a lot of different genres of music, which I was pretty surprised. I think you still find in a lot of recordings, you still might have real drums and that sort of thing, but a lot of stuff is programmed nowadays, and it's kind of both a blessing and a curse, because it means anybody can make music, and then it also means that anybody can make music, and so it's a double-edged sword. I think it's definitely a positive. I'm going to turn this thing around so I can talk to you, not at you. There we go. So turning back around so I can talk to you and not at you. Guys, got any questions for me? Throw them in the comments below. I know I was talking about some of this electronic stuff, a lot of the songs being programmed nowadays. Oh, yeah, and the fact that anybody can make music, I think, is definitely a blessing. It's one of the reasons why anybody can be successful in the music biz these days. It is very, very simple. It has become so user-friendly, and I think it's totally a positive that it's that way. The music industry has changed a lot. I've just learned this over just the past couple of years of how much the music industry has changed. It's gotten to the point where, yeah, anybody can put together a little bedroom studio for less than $1,000. All you need is a computer, a nice set of studio speakers, a good quality microphone for singing, a keyboard or some other instrument that you can use to input the notes, and a piece of decent recording software. Man, you're off to the races. It's amazing what you can create these days. Even if you don't have a background in music, you can play around with it and you can make beats. You know, the sky's the limit to what you can do. I encourage you guys to go to your favorite music store and check out the electronic stuff that they have there, because it's pretty amazing. I encourage you guys to actually do that. The more music we have on this planet, the better, I think. Don't you agree? So yeah, there you go. So I just wanted to kind of give you that little overview of the studio and kind of some of the gear I use. My iMac from 2009. I will tell you one thing about Macs though, they're built like tanks. At least the ones that I've owned have been. They'll last forever if you take care of them. I've got a pair of JBL studio speakers, an audio interface that works off of FireWire, and I've got one of my keyboards that I use to input all the notes, and then I've got a mic stand with a mic and a sound filter. That was that silver thing going around. And I got a blanket on the wall to help absorb some of the sound from behind where the singer stands. So it's a modest studio, but it does the trick. So yeah, recording has been made very accessible by your average Joe and Jolene. And like I said, I think it's totally a positive that people now have the ability to create music, whereas they didn't always before, because sometimes going into a recording studio can be quite expensive. You know, if you're gonna hire musicians and hire a producer and hire an engineer, you know, it can add up in a hurry. Even now, to get a song professionally recorded, you're looking at probably about $1,000 per song for X number of hours of studio time, X number of musicians, X number of tracks in your mix and all that other kind of stuff. And then the more that you want, the more it costs and all that kind of stuff. You'd be surprised. There have been a lot of successful people just from experimenting and just getting their creativity flowing. You'd be surprised. You never know. So I encourage you guys to check it out. Like I said, if you have a Mac, you probably already have GarageBand. If you have an iPad, you probably already have GarageBand. And you can start doing this stuff. And I can certainly help guide you guys and at least get you started. Hope you guys have enjoyed this little Techie Tuesday chat. Are there anybody wants to throw out a question? You can. In the meantime, I will once again thank you for tuning in. Like I said, this is day number 23 of my 30-day Facebook Live challenge. We're in the final week of this thing. I can't believe I've been doing this. So, my purpose as an artist, I hope I've added some value to your life, even just giving you the little inside look at the Casa de Ross home studio, where some of the magic happens that doesn't happen in the live music room downstairs, which is our dining room. Because, let's face it, why have a dining room table in your dining room if you can have a grand piano in there, right? Seems legit, right? So I hope you've gotten some value out of this broadcast as well as all the others. Again, my purpose is to uplift the civilization through my music, infuse it with art, change the world one note at a time, and leave you guys feeling better after you hear the music than you did before. And pleasure to have you guys all on the journey. I hope you enjoyed the inside scoop that you got, the look inside the studio. Thank you guys so much for being here. You are the reason why I'm doing this. I hope you're getting something out of it. Sketch a schematic of your connections. Oh, I could do that. I don't know how to do that here. I would just have to... Oh, my wife joined in. Hello, babe. So I guess I'd have to draw it out and then take a picture of it and post it to the page or something like that. I don't know how to do that. What I need to get is, I know that there's some software that you can get where you can, oh, hi, Carrie. I know there's some software that you can get where I can have me talking in the corner of the screen, and then the rest of the screen I could have a PowerPoint or something like that, but I don't know really how to do that. I need somebody a little bit more left-brained than me to help me figure that out. But anyway, so yes, I can draw a schematic of the connections. It's actually very, very simple. Just to give you a basic overview, the connections are actually very simple. Most nowadays, you can hook up a keyboard controller via USB, and the innards of the computer kind of take care of everything else. And yeah, if you want a little bit more elaborate setup, I can certainly guide you there. But yeah, screencasting, I've heard of that. I keep saying I need to look into that, and I need to write that down on my to-do list to look into. See if there's a platform for the iPhone where I can do that. Or I guess if I'm demonstrating stuff like this for the recording, I could do it right there on the computer. I can be live in one place and then do the screencast in the other. That would be really cool. I'll have to look into that. Or maybe I can just hire somebody to do that for me. That's really the ultimate goal, is when you can make enough money to hire people to do all that crap for you so you can just concentrate on what you want to do. That's living the dream right there, right? So I'll look into that. But basic connections are... You can start with a basic setup with OBS. There you go. Something else that sounds like we need to look into. Yeah, so just connect to your computer via USB, and you should be able to power everything with that. I have this extra audio interface for me because that's what my vocal mic is plugged into, and you need something like that. Although they make USB microphones too, that you can plug directly into your computer. They really have simplified these things a lot. I got a lot of this equipment back in 2011. And just in the last 5 years, the technology has really become a lot more accessible. There's a microphone called Blue. That's the name of the company that makes it. And you can buy a Blue microphone which is a good quality microphone for recording vocals directly into your computer using another adapter called an Icicle or something else, and be good to go. So if you have enough USB ports, you just have one for your keyboard, one for your microphone, and then your software, and then you should be pretty well set. Otherwise, get a pair of speakers. You may need an audio interface to connect your speakers, depending on what kind of speakers you get. And you can get either a FireWire interface or USB interface, and that will do the trick. So yeah, you plug your speakers into one end of the interface, and the other part to the computer, connect via USB or FireWire, and there you go. FireWire, at the time that I bought this, FireWire was faster. I don't know how it is now. I don't even know if they still make FireWire. I know on the Apple side there's something called Thunderbolt, which is supposed to be faster than FireWire, but I have an older machine, so I don't know about that. But anyway, very, very cool. I'm really excited that you guys stayed with me on the broadcast. I'm excited that you guys were interested in that. Anything else that you want to see on these broadcasts, let me know, and I will do my best to deliver for you. And like I said, because, as I say multiple times, you guys are the reason why I'm doing this. So, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and get ready to sign off. If you guys want to make any other comments or feedback, go ahead and do it in the box there below the chat. I do respond to everybody's comments. I make that a personal mission of mine. I think it's really important. Thank you guys very, very much for tuning in. So long, everybody.